EURACTIV, 20th of September 2023, Chinese ambassador, there is no intention to weaken the West with Belt and Road. One of the largest debt traps in the world, the Chinese BRI has entangled numerous third world nations. On Tuesday, September 19, China's ambassador to the EU strongly urged the West not to attempt to obstruct Beijing's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, with rival projects, cautioning that doing so would enrage the global South. Cong delivered the keynote address at a conference held by EURACTIV, with funding from his embassy, to commemorate the 10th anniversary of Belt and Road, the international infrastructure development initiative the Chinese government embraced in 2013. The ambassador emphasized the initiative's historical foundation, which is based on the Silk Road, a Eurasian trade route network that was in operation from the 2nd century BC to the middle of the 15th century. President Xi Jinping's 2013 visit to Kazakhstan marked the official announcement of the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. The ambassador stated that the anniversary was a good time to take a look both forward and backward. While individual members of the EU were free to participate in the BRI, the EU decided in 2019 not to join the initiative as a whole. Western governments have often perceived the BRI as a tool to further Chinese influence overseas while burdening developing nations with unmanageable debt. The decision of his country to join the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, which increased China's exports to Italy but did not affect Italian exports to China, was recently dubbed atrocious by Italian Defense Minister Guido Crosetto. Under a previous government, Italy became the first significant Western nation to join the BRI. Fu gave a very high evaluation of the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, referring to it as a road of opportunity and prosperity and stating that his nation had signed more than 200 cooperation agreements with more than 150 nations under the initiative, encompassing almost 3,000 projects worth close to $1 trillion. He added that due to BRI, 40 million people had been pulled out of poverty, and 420,000 local jobs had been created for participating countries. He cited China's acquisition of the Belgrade-Budapest Railway, the Peljesak Bridge in Croatia, and the Greek port of Piraeus as Europe's three main BRI achievements. Claiming that green is the most distinctive color of BRI, he emphasized that the initiative from China is not incompatible with the global gateway and subtly refuted the notion that it is not climate-friendly. Timur Sultangozin, deputy head of Kazakhstan's EU mission, discussed his nation's good experiences with the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, particularly emphasizing the middle corridor that connects China and the EU. Bruegel think tank Celicia Garcia Herrero stated that their experts had initially discovered the project might boost global commerce by 6%. Still, she cautioned that the EU would lose if China established a free trade zone along the Belt and Road. She claimed that BRI's character shifted from economic projects toward security, soft, and one day, hard power initiatives, as a result of COVID and the conflict in Ukraine. We're capable of more. More than 3,000 Western studies have been inspired by the Chinese initiative, according to research conducted by Dr. Wang Wen of Renmin University of China. He emphasized that such activities should be complementary in the eyes of the Chinese. When questioned about the EU's skepticism of the Belt and Road Program, BRI, the Chinese ambassador expressed his optimism that, as the program approaches its second decade, Western attitudes against it would soften. China never imposes any project on any country, it's always the country that comes up with the project, and China comes up with the assistance, he said in describing the Belt and Road Initiative. While acknowledging that China's soft power was growing as projects proliferated, he clarified that his nation's goal was to interact with each other on an equal footing and with courtesy. We don't claim to be the world's saviors. Chinese businesses are traveling there for personal gain and their objectives. However, we also benefit the local population, the ambassador added. In concluding remarks, the ambassador urged the West not to design its measures against the BRI, insisting that the program was not a Chinese attempt to weaken the West. He remarked, "I don't think the global South, or the other part of the world, would welcome that." In October, Beijing, China will host the Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation. This article follows the policy debate The Belt and Road Initiative, Where Are We 10 Years On? Arranged by EURACTIV and sponsored by the Chinese mission to the EU.